fear can either make you or it can break you. It only goes one of two ways. It can either get a hold of you or you can choose to control it. The latter is very difficult. I won't sit here and lie. Recently, I've encountered a situation or two that has filled me with fear, that I've at times found myself paralyzed from, found myself unable to perform the way in which I would want to perform with. And one of those things has been the 50 kilo incline dumbbell press. The first time I ever tried the 50s, I got them quite comfortably. I think I managed 7 or 8 reps. The second time, which was a suboptimal workout from a perspective of time, I was in the gym at like 10 p.m, which is very rare for me. And I felt like giving them a go, and I got them up well. And it was fairly comfortable. Few days later, I tried them again, thinking, maybe it's an everyday weight for me now. Maybe not for reps, but maybe it's an everyday weight. I couldn't get it off my chest. And whilst I may have been able to get some reps in if somebody had helped me up, to me, that's half the exercise. And that left me riddled with fear surrounding them. I now looked at them again like something that was beyond me, was outside of my grasp. Whether it be temporarily or permanently, I would never know, because the last time I encountered them, the last time I encountered that situation, that scenario, the scenario got the better of me. External forces bested me. And that is something that I find can play on my mind so easily. It can consume my entire being, with me having only some control over. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That is something that I am very, very determined to work on. Something that I am very, very determined to conquer, from a perspective of, not necessarily from a perspective of being perfect every single time, but from a perspective of having the confidence that each time I encounter that feeling, that emotion, that situation where something has bested me previously and I have to encounter it again, I'm determined, to get to a place where I am confident within myself to progress on the last time. So even if I don't perform again, even if I do quote unquote lose again, it's okay, because mentally I was less fearful. Mentally I was more in control of my mind rather than allowing my mind to be in control of me. And then that momentum can be taken into the next scenario and allow me to be stronger, allow me to have a greater chance of conquering whatever it is that I am seeking to conquer. And I feel like that's a principle or an idea that is ever present in every area of life. I've spoken about it many times before on this channel, probably more in the early days than recently. Winning is so important. Winning is so important as a man. It's just as a human being in general. It's very, very important to build momentum and collect wins in order to create a snowball effect of wins and allow yourself to roll down the hill, become bigger and bigger to the point where you could take out a whole town if you needed to, or take over the world if you really wanted to. Winning is the key, and setting yourself up for success is the key. So it's only natural that a loss can eat us up from the inside out. It's only natural that a loss can plague our minds and subsequently our entire beings. However, it is something that we must look at as a chance, an opportunity to rise above and be stronger than who we were yesterday, or who we were the last time we encountered that foe, or that exercise, or that scenario. That's all we can do, right? Progress. We can't expect perfection. If something took you an hour last time, it taking you 59 minutes and 59 seconds is progress. It may not feel like much, but it is, and we have to give ourselves that win. So when we next attempt that task, we feel like we accomplished something last time. Because that feeling of accomplishment is far greater fuel than that feeling of fear. Fear can be transmuted into fuel. Don't get it twisted. Fear can most definitely be transmuted into fuel. However, I personally believe that when embarking on endeavors, when seeking to achieve goals, feeling accomplished, feeling like you've got momentum behind you, feeling like you've been here before and you've succeeded, it's a far greater fuel. And I use today as a perfect example. Today, I had to transmute my fear into fuel. I had to use it to focus me that little bit more, to take that little extra care, to be that little bit more aware of my body and whether it was actually worth trying to take the weight that I wanted to take today. However, on the flip side, when I think of times in my life, specifically in the martial arts, when I felt accomplished due to the momentum that I have generated, due to the momentum that I've earned from turning up day in, day out, no matter how I felt, that sense of accomplishment was what could take you into a competition and fill you with confidence. Because there's always going to be fear in a scenario like that, right? However, rather than sit there fearing or looking around at who you're going to fight, thinking, oh, he's a bit bigger than me, he might be stronger than me, blah, blah, blah. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, man, I've been doing this 5 days a week for 4 hours a day for the last 6 months. I know he hasn't been that consistent. And even if he has, I don't care, because I'm here to run my own race. And in my race, I've done nothing but progress. And in my race, I've done nothing but build accomplishments. So go get wins. I haven't said this enough recently. And I haven't reminded myself enough recently the importance of go and get some wins, man. Get some wins. Because they are the best form of momentum. They are the best form of fuel. And generally speaking, on the other side of fear, there are greener pastures. There tends to be something worthwhile on the other side of fear. So don't hide from that either. Don't expect too much from yourself. Don't expect yourself to be perfect going into a fearful situation. Just make sure you progress on the way in which you performed, the way in which you acted, the last time you encountered whatever it may be. Because that's all we can ask ourselves to do, right? That's all we can ask of ourselves, is to be better than who we were yesterday. Whether it be by an inch or a mile, a second or a minute. Progress is progress. And we have to remember that. I have to remember that. So keep pushing and keep progressing. And I'll see you tomorrow.